Hello, Zoe. Hello, G Keyman. Hello, Mark. I'm sorry you can't stay, but thanks for stopping by. Hello, Harry. How are we doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. Today, we are picking locks. Hopefully, I've had quite the week. How's everybody doing right now? How we doing? How we feeling? Doing good. Glad to hear. So, yeah, let's get the show started soon. Or now. How soon is now? Ah, I don't know if he's in the chat yet or not, but a big shouts out to Lady Locks for sending me the Chuck Vice. I now have I my vices are now many. Yeah, Morrissey's a massive asshole, but the Smiths made some good music. Anywho, but yeah, big shouts out to Lady Locks for the Chuck Vice. I now have a vice that moves around. So just wanted to do a quick update on me. How are we doing? We're gonna be picking locks today. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, it's so I don't know how much people know so far, but this week's definitely been a bit of a mixed bag for me. I'm starting a new job on the 1st of April, which is awesome. Because I really need money. I'm broke right now. I have no cash money. I also have a cat who's relieving himself right now, so my apartment is about to start stinking way worse than it should. Anywho, but starting a new job April 1st, can't exactly say where it is, but can definitely say that it is much closer to my apartment than any previous job I've had in a long time. And I hope that it is a job with the capability for growth because I'd like to move upward in life and be able to afford nice things and all of the above. Hello, excuse me, sorry, pardon the belch. You're all gonna run away now from that belch. But hello, 14 people. Say hello in the chat. How are we doing? How's your Sunday going? How are your weekend plans going? Who are you people? Who are all you people? Say hello. So yeah, so good, exciting work opportunity. Loving that. Um, Hi Zara, how are you? Yeah. Unfortunately, there was some bad news at the colony, um, because it's going to become very, very difficult to feed the cats going forward. With Rafa leaving and moving to a new store, and with it's a big changing of the guard at the colony, and it's a big worry for me. For those of you who have seen my most recent video on the cats, it's not the greatest. Now I don't want to put too much business on Front Street, but you know, hopefully people who've had interest and reached out to me in the past about adopting will want to. adopt some of the cats that are ready to go off the streets, um, or or at least reach out in how however you can help helps. If you are in Southern California or Western Arizona or Nevada, and you can find it in your heart to help me help these cats that I feed regularly and take care of, that's amazing. Obviously, if look, if you're already doing your part, I can't ask you to do more for me. But if you can, find a way to help me out, excuse me, that would be amazing. How's it going, Elijah? And if you don't live in those areas, if you know somebody who's an animal lover in the area, you know, I gotta try my best to make the network as big as possible for little old me. So yeah, once again, big shout out to Lady Locks for the Chuck Vice. I've upgraded my Vice technology tremendously. So just wanted to schmooze, give a little life update. Um, there was one topic I wanted to get to, which we'll see how the stream goes. Hopefully it goes well. I like it when things go well. But there was one thing I wanted to get to and discuss, which was my affinity for key and knob compatible padlocks. And furthermore, for my audience who don't have any interest in locks but are just tuning in to support me or because you're awesome or for whatever reason, I wanted to demonstrate that this is an option that you have, excuse me, in your life, shall we say. Not Englishing especially well today, but that's okay. Everybody say hi. Everybody watching, say hi. If you haven't said hi already, drop a like, drop a many much super thanks, and give me all your money. Give me all your loving, all your hugs and kisses too. Da, 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 da. So yeah, but one thing I'll say for myself is there's not a lot of quit in me. I'm not always great at starting things, but once I get moving, I'm not the type, excuse me, to give up. Jesus Louises, I am belchy as all hell today. I apologize, folks. But um, yeah, I'm not just because it's going to get more difficult doesn't mean I'm giving up. And I realize that stuff, this could be just a bump in the road, but it is. Excuse me, it is what it is. I so um so if you want to get in contact with me, um Hi, Julian. Thank you for being amazing. Sleep well, my friend. I know you're on the other side of the Atlantic, so I know it's late for you. And Rona, if you want, you can. I leave a link to my Instagram on my in all my videos, uh, which is so you can send me a direct message via that if you have Instagram. If not, um, I'm working on. I've set up an email for people to contact me specifically about um cat related stuff. I do need to be a little bit better about setting up notifications. Um, but it certainly is in place, and you can. And I'm going to set it up so that can be like the main point of contact for people asking me about cat stuff. The email address, I'll say it right now. I'm not going to leave it in the chat because just in case some wackaloons come through. I doubt it, but we got to be careful just in case if the loony bin population decides to swing by. But um, but yeah, it's David Romano, like my name, David Romano, and the letter and or the word and cats, CATS at gmail.com. David Romano and cats at gmail.com. If you want to get in touch with me about specific cat related stuff, that is the way to contact with me. Although I will say, if you have an Instagram, that is better. I check my Instagram on a daily basis. I might not respond on a daily basis because I'm kind of a shitty person sometimes about like that. And by that I mean I'm just an introvert. Sorry, people. But yes, if you want to get in touch with me about cat related stuff, the best way to do that is Instagram. And I don't know why I sung that. Because I live in Hollywood and we're feeling a little light in the loafers right now. Is that a slur saying light in the loafers at this point? If it is, I apologize to the LGBTQ community. Um, Agreed, Janice. Agreed. You know, I know. Look, I mean, here's the thing. I know I can't save them all. I've been visiting that colony since 2022, and some of the cats that have rolled through there are no longer there because sometimes just life happens. But especially for the ones I've managed to socialize, they really deserve the best. And you know, like I said in the video, I don't want my you know not this isn't me being and I don't want to say. So if need be, I'll definitely home them for a little while, Janice. But I in my apartment there's my four cats and two foster cats waiting for forever homes, and it would be very difficult to it'd be very difficult uh, for me, especially from a monetary standpoint, to feed 7 days a week more than six cats. Six cats is already pushing it for me. Like I really, as much as I love my two foster kitties, um, I like if I could find a loving forever home for them, that would mean that would save me considerable amounts of money. But it would also mean it would be easier for me to bring some of the street cats in because just from a fiscal standpoint, probably the most I can afford right now to feed 7 days a week. Like I can continue, especially with your guys' help and support, because I appreciate that so much. Each and every one of you who gives money, who donates to the PayPal, the como se llama, the Venmo, the YouTube super thanks or whatever. However you help me out, that's amazing. And so I can continue doing the feral stuff or the community cat stuff with that. But to do to feed more than 6 cats 7 days a week in my own apartment. I'm just one person. Like as is, I can barely keep up with all the litter requirements because without having hello Dean P or sorry Peen D. I I spoke miss. Can they be adopted to Europe? I don't think so. I don't want. I think that would be very stressful for the cats. I think you know. I think we're gonna like ideally they'll be in the Los Angeles area because or the Southern California area because that would be less stressful on the cats. Geez, that one took me a little bit longer than it should have, didn't it? Um, it would be less stressful on the cats if they didn't have to travel super far distances, and especially if they don't have to go on an airplane. Um, you know, I mean, obviously, there's drugs you can give cats to open them. Evil bidding, evil bidding. Zero lift, low lift, max lift, min lift, real asshole bidding. But anyways, a very pretty padlock too. Think unfortunately it's no longer made as an ace, but if you want this padlock, this very same padlock, and it's a good one, uh, it is available on Amazon.com. Uh, and as a Brinks, funnily enough, because there's a lot of overlap in Brinks and Ace's product lineups. And that makes a hello Silvana, how are you doing? Yeah, Ace definitely makes some really good stuff. I mean, I love love, love, love. It's a great comfort lock. They're brass padlocks. This one has a brass shackle, which also is this. Look, I don't agree with love locks, but if you have to place a love lock, this is the one you want to do. The Ace, at least in the United States, the Ace 40 millimeter brass lock with a brass shackle. It's classy. It doesn't rust, and when I come to pick it, it'll at least give me a challenge instead of a Master Lock 140. Anywho, but yes, glad to see you, Silvana. It's been quite the week for me, but we're hanging out, we're doing good, we're chilling. We have 17 people watching, 17 people liked, and we just are into our 18th minute of being live. There's a lot of teams. Hopefully Drake is not in the stream. If he is, get out, Drake. I don't want you. A minor. No. Um, but on the subject of Ace and Brinks and overlap, and what I wanted to discuss for the non lockpicker types today is key and knob compatible padlocks or house key compatible padlocks. Basically, what I'm talking about is any sort of padlock, be it this Brinks, this Ace, this Stanley. We've got more. Where did I put them? This American lock, this Federal lock, this Yale. I'm not done yet. Ah, gonna move the squiggly one over here off to the side. Thank you. This really big American lock. Thank you so much, Savannah. This big honkin' schlag. This slightly smaller schlag. This master lock. And last but not least, this Avis. Dang, that's a tower of kick compatible padlocks. All of these locks, and I'm going to move some of them before this tower falls, although that does look kind of cool. Ugh. For the record, when it comes to picking, this is going to be a very long while because many of these locks are above my current skill level, or among the most annoying locks to pick I've ever picked. Um, but what they all have in common is that they're core. What the heart of them is some sort of house key, be it this Yale, which uses a key from Japan. It's a gold P. Uh, Works beautifully. This Stanley, which uses a Schlage key. Thank you so much, Harry. I appreciate it tremendously. Uh, this Schlage Kryptonite, which is a multi-lock junior, or on a more this American lock, which uses a multi-lock classic. This Abus 83. They say hello. Say hello to your cats for me, Silvana. Give them my best, and a big meow 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 meow. Yeah, but this Avis 83 with a multi-lock 800 or MT5 plus, whatever you want to call it, core. The point is or like I said, something simpler like this Brinks, which uses a Schlage, or this Ace, which, funnily enough, also uses a Schlage. If you are in the United States or Canada, there is a high percentage that your house uses either Schlage or Quickset. And I think an underutilized aspect of locking and padlocking and what have you is that a lot of us have key rings with way too many keys, and we could cut down on that. And that's what I wanted to discuss. Because my key ring, I'm not going to show it if, for security purposes, but my key ring, there's my apartment key for my actual apartment, the master apartment key for the doors, my car keys, the key to my parents' house in case I want to visit, um, and I also keep a TSA 007 key because it's funny for the lols. Um, and but what I used to have in addition were lots of padlock keys for my storage unit, for a gate, blah 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 blah. Not anymore. Why is that? Because my most of my padlocks at this point are key and knob. There. Thank you so much, Rona. Most of my padlocks these days are key and knob compatible, which means if you are able to, which with a little finagling, and obviously this is not one of them because I'm more than happy to show you all the key to this one, but or more importantly, because my house is quick set. This sucker. Um, I have another quick set compatible padlock in front of my apartment, locking up my uh some deck chairs that I have because I don't want them to get pirated by some schmucky the clown type people. Yay, Rona! It did indeed work. Thank you. You are awesome. That was a weird sing song, but I wouldn't be me if I weren't me. But so this is what I'm saying. If and for the record, if you live in Switzerland where they actually, or in Europe where they actually make good locks, this discussion does not apply to you. Over there, you guys use stuff like the Euro cylinder, which is completely different. Um, but if you're in the United States or in Canada, I believe they also use the kick cylinder format a lot. These Padlocks like these are just so great. They can streamline your life, and you have so much flexibility. You want to put a Medico biaxial in there? Cool. Put a Medico biaxial in your massive American Lock 3800 series, and you've got one of the stoutest, toughest padlocks you'll find. Please don't take this the wrong way, people. I'm being humorous, and if you know me, then you know more about it. If you want to occupy your padlock with an Israeli cylinder, but Haverim. You can always stick this Yardeni 6 into a Federal 3, or sorry, Federal 500, which is a massive hunk of brass with a pretty cool Israeli-made dimple cylinder. I wonder if Paracentric's in the chat. I know he's a big Federal Lock fan. Federal Lock. I wish I had some Swiss locks with me, Rona. Unfortunately, because there are some really good ones. Unfortunately, I do not have any. The closest I've got is Abus or Abus because they're a German company. Boom. I'm sure they're a massive company globally speaking though, and they make good products and look, like every manufacturer of everything in the history of ever, there's definitely some duds in their lineup, but by and large, Avis is a very competent, or Abos is a very competent lock manufacturer that makes a lot of good locks. And if you want a kick compatible lock, like I said, here's an Avis 83 with a multi-lock MT5 Plus in it, and it will take pretty much any kick in the world. Um, and I think for the Euro cylinder types in Europe, um, Abus also makes I think it's the 86 Ti, which is a Euro cylinder compatible padlock. Do with that information what you will. I have no money right now, aside from what you people have given me. Thank you so much, by the way. So I'm not buying any padlocks, although I did see recently on eBay one of the coolest padlocks. And I was like, I'm gonna buy this with all the money I don't have. And then I may or may not have been sleeping when the auction ended. But what it was a vintage Lori, the company Lori lock, LORI. It was a Lori lock pick style padlock with a Kaba Gemini pick in it. And that is friggin' awesome because the Kaba Gemini. Speaking of Swiss lock manufacturers, actually, I believe Kaba is from Switzerland, or at least part of them. For the lock people, please correct me. I know Urban Alps is Swiss, but they're kind of small. Um, I think Magnum is Swiss, if I'm not mistaken. The people who not Masterlock Magnum, obviously, that's not from Switzerland. That's from Scheisseland. But but um, but but Kaba. Yeah. But yeah, so I saw on eBay somebody was selling a vintage Lori brass key and knob style padlock with a Kaba Gemini kick, and that was amazeballs. And they wanted $40 for it, which is for those of you who know what Kaba Geminis go for these days. That is and this was a Kaba Gemini with working key in a working padlock for $40 free shipping. Whoever bought that, because it did sell for exactly 40. One bid. A, you got an exceptional deal, my friend. And number two, I am so jealous. I hate you. Like, oh, you got it. Oh my God! Literally, there is some dude on eBay is trying to sell a Kaba Gemini um, rim cylinder with no keys for $65, and this guy got a full working one in a padlock with a key and knob cylinder, which is very rare for Kabas to find a kick cylinder. Sorry, I'm having a little freak out right now. Sorry, chat. My if my passion is scaring you. I am what you call an geek. I get into things in a big way. Yeah, but if you live in the United States or Canada, or I'm not exactly sure what the lock industry is like in Mexico. I know a couple of the manufacturers, but I don't know how much overlap uh the Mexican lock market has with the rest of North America. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've definitely showed around the house, but there's, I love quality stuff from the past. So yeah, vintage locks are awesome. I've got to collect. I majored in, sorry, I majored in photography. Wake up! I am awake. Energy came in. I am awake. I'm awake as I'm ever gonna be. How you doing, my friend? How's it going? Um, but I don't know. I got completely distracted. I'm looking at a cat right now. How could you pay attention when kitty cats are involved? Oh yeah, that's what I was saying before I got sidetracked. I was like, I majored in photography before I dropped out of school and became a chef. Um, and I still have a pretty sizable collection of film of film cameras, which I could probably sell them and make money, but I won't because it's mine, motherfucker. No, because it's my stuff and I love it and it's fun you know, and because if they work, I have used every single camera that I have that works has been used. Maybe not recently, but every single camera that I've ever purchased that works has had at least one roll or pack or something of film run through it. Because as much as I enjoy collecting stuff, when you collect things that are also tools, if you don't use them, it's kind of a shame. Which is kind of a, a shame what's happening to my cameras because they're just collecting dust right now. Especially because these days that it's kind of in the year 2025, it's kind of difficult to get access to a dark room if you don't, if you're not in college or something like that or whatever. So I just have roll upon roll upon roll of exposed film that's in my freezer, just waiting for me to finally be like, excuse Jesus Louises, I am falling apart, people. Yeah, that's just waiting for me, like, okay, okay, today we're gonna develop the film. Also, for those of you, bidding doesn't matter except when it does. Here's a case when it does. This ace is a total asshole. I've managed to pick it exactly once because the bidding, I mean, let's read it off the key. 45992. For those of you who don't know Schleg bidding cuts, they have Schleg has 10 bidding depths, 0 through 9. So 9 is the lowest possible cut, and there are two of them in a row, followed by a 2, which is one of the highest possible cuts. And yes, for those of you who are curious and know, this is not a max violation. This is a eligible bidding. The max on Schleg is 7. So this is at max. And for those of you folks who don't know, in it, these the keys are not cut, just at random, like somebody took a file and went, there are specific bidding depths that are numbered and spaced, and different companies have different numbers. Schlage has 10, numbered 0 through 9. Uh, let's see. Master Lock and American have 8. Uh, they are the same. They are the exact same numbers, but they are numbered differently. For Master Lock, it is 0 through 7. And for American Lock, it is 1 through 8, but the pins are exactly the same. So a 0 Master Lock is a 1 American. It's the same pin. Um, what else? Quickset has officially 7, but you will never see a 7 depth Quickset in your life. So there's really 6. Um, and also Quickset's max is only 4. So the Quickset's key space is considerably smaller than Schlage. So, look, if you were going to pick between the two, I think Schlage overall is a better brand of American lock. Not that either one is particularly great compared to stuff that's in Europe, like Kaba, like Eva, like Dom, you know Abloy, Asa, whatever. There are so many quality European manufacturers. Although Schlage does have, of course, the Primus, which is a which is a very decent locking system, which is also one of my least favorite things to pick in because I've never been able to successfully pick the son bitch, especially not in this massive padlock. But it is cool. All right, come on, peeps. There's 14 of you in the chat. I love Harry. I love Rona. I love G Keeman. I love everybody. Silvana. I love everyone who's monopolizing it. But come on, people, participate. We need. I am here to give out participation trophies, folks. How's it going, Frick? Glad you could stop by. I think you sent me a message, something about my piss poor linking skills, but I didn't read it because obviously I'm streaming. So it's like I'd be scared to leave the live in case it like YouTube decided to screw with me. But yeah, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Uh, yeah. Yesterday was my chores day. Oh, big update. Cat update. Well, not big update, medium update. Um, but I don't know if I mentioned it, but one of my own cats, one of my personal cats that I've had for the longest time, Emily, she's a very anxious kitty catto. Um, in fact, she's probably hiding under something right now as we speak. Um, and she's always been scared of other humans. Fortunately, she likes me, but what did I do wrong now? But of late, she's been scared of cats too. And I actually said in one of the cat colony videos, I'm worried that she might have a UTI. Well, she went to the vet recently, and they did blood work on her. And great news, no UTI, no kidney issue. Everything looks good, but she's just super anxious. And now, a couple of things. Number one, I can totally appreciate being super anxious. After all, I've been on antidepressants since I was a teenager. But you know who else is now on antidepressants? My cat. I have a cat on Prozac now. I cannot freaking believe this. So, can we get some lols in the chat for cats for pets on antidepressants? Is that the most Los Angeles thing in the world, or do any of you people have pets who are on antidepressants? And here's the yeah, it is great news on the blood work. Although I'm still a little worried because, like, the way she's behaving, like. It seems more than just anxiety, but I'm not a vet. Good night, Rona. I know I schedule these things at 2 p.m. To see if I can get the Euro folks right before they go to bed. Because if I do it any earlier, I'm really not super functional, and if I do it any later, you guys will absolutely not show up. Well, because you'll be asleep as you should be. So as I was saying, thank you for stopping by, Rona. Thank you for the super thanks. You are amazing. And yes, if you can, if you have friends in the Western United States, especially Southern California, who are interested in helping me adopt some of these cats, that would be amazeballs. Please put them in touch with me. How are you, GK man? How's it going? Also, let me pause since I can't really pick this one with the evil betting either. Cause look at my look look she I I can't say what's your son girl. This is one of my fosters. This is Sunny. Her and her brother Sully. I rescued them as kittens. The video of me. I hate. Is it mastered or is it just? Is it mastered or is it just pinned up for one operating, one control? So in all likelihood, it's mastered. You know how those things are. They're always. Um, I tend to feel that with SFIC more often than not, unless they've been specifically prepped for a specific purpose, or for Locksport, they're always mastered to hell, which is why I hate picking them. Kind of because like you can hit operating so easily just by raking some of them, but and then you'll try and hit control and you'll get nowhere because there's 1,000 operating biddings that work. And Broke said some masters fell out. Oof. Yep, that would scan. Quick. Those friggin' bet systems where they're master to hell, they also love to put like number one or number two master pins, which are that's just, th- they should not exist. Opinion, aka fact. I know you need, I know you need those very tiny master pins for massive key spaces, but they're just such an issue waiting to happen, in my opinion. And I mean, but who knows? On the last lock picking live stream, not this one, but where's that Brinks? Yeah, I done it this one, and I found out that that was Master Keith full of freaking American Lock number one master pins. Oh my god, I think I almost had an aneurysm looking at those. All right, this may or may not be cheating depending on how you use the thing, but I'm going to flip this lock over. This doesn't feel right to pick an American lock Euro style. Ugh. Yeah, I do not like me and SFIC. We do not always get along, which is kind of funny because I know that because ironically The yeah, I like American lock a lot. Annoyingly, the picture or or not annoyingly, but ironically, the picture that I put as for the thumbnail for this live was me holding an SFIC. Granted, it was a key mark, but that's just an SFIC with more slightly more annoyance. Yeah, I really want to lock with 334B45, Dean, but it's just it landed in the United States. It's just so expensive, and I haven't got the money right now to rationalize that. Like really, I am quite broke at the moment. I'm not broke picks. I'm just a broke picker. Um, so I just yeah, I couldn't. I need to be. I need to be selling more bucks on the Lock Bazaar, not buying more shit. But as with many hobbies that can involve collecting, the gear acquisition syndrome strikes us all. And when you've got gas, you gotta do something about gas. I'll sit here and wait for the rim shots and the on the applause on that dad joke. Come on, Harry. You know the gas. You know what? You know all about gas, and it's a it's a real situation sometimes. But as long as you can afford it, it's okay. But I cannot right now, so I got to keep my gas in check. Eating better, cutting down on the frijoles. My gas is way down. Using me. Well, there's your. Oh no, my hands definitely get cramps. That's a definite. Speaking of which, folks, if you are into ambient music or electronic music, go check out Harry's channel. He's got some great electronic soundscapes. Trying to get him up to 100 subs ASAP because he deserves at least that many. Honky, how are you doing, my friend? Let me see what I can do. Give me a second. Also, Dean, if you like American locks, you would love these Brinks or Ace brand. They're made in the same factory. I think they're made in the Federal Lock factory, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can provide a link, but I'm gonna gut one in a second because they're pretty cool. Okay. Do, 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 do. Give me a hot second, folks. I'm gonna be professional YouTubing to the max. Oh, kitties! Hello, kitties! Jesus Christ! Lord have mercy! It really isn't all that. Hello, everyone. Beep the knee deep Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Beep the knee deep Tano. Hey, 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 that's my bitch. Hey, 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 hey. Folks, question briefly, is the audio still good? I opened up my iPad, so it may have switched the stuff for some reason because life is weird like that. But yeah, all right, all good with the audio. Yeah. Woohoo! I'm on your screens and I'm also in your chat. I'm taking over your shit. Everyone, check out Harry's channel. Super cool ambient soundtrack stuff. Pin that message to the top because technology, man. Look at me. I'm so good right now. I'm such a professional YouTuber. I am so amazing. I am the greatest. All right. As I was saying, Dean, let me take apart one of these guys because you might be kind of interested. Hold on a second though. I'm slacking so much on frig that the stream I did a few weeks back where I took apart a an old Yale 850 and cleaned it and serviced it. It's still in pieces because I'm so friggin' lazy and I haven't get well, and also because I have no money. Uh, I still have not gotten around to getting a friggin' key blank to file key yet, and I'm not putting it back together until I file the key because then I have to repick it, and that's annoying. Well, not annoying, but like the picking it isn't the annoying part. It's It's the taking it apart with all the like rivets and the this, the that, and if you don't have a key, you gotta like hope it doesn't unpick itself because if it does, then you gotta repick it. It's a to use a phrase in Hebrew, it's a balagan shalem. It's a whole big pain in the ass. Um, in other news, I don't want to get too political, but has anybody been checking their signal messages this week? I hope yours haven't leaked to the press. Let me tell you all, if my WhatsApp messages, yeah, balagan. It's a it's a thing. It is a thing to say the least. Let's pick one to take apart. Not that annoying one of the. It's depressing, but it's depressing and I try not to be too affected by it, but I can't put my head in the sand and pretend like it didn't happen. I'm, you know, people put their head in the sand and pretended it didn't happen many times before. It's how, it's how the Holocaust happened. It's how the Rwandan genocide happened. It's how what's happening in Ukraine right now is happening. It's please don't take this the wrong way, Zionists types. It's how what is happening in Palestine right now happens. This is not me saying that Israel should not exist. I'm saying what they're doing in Palestine is wrong. Two separate things I can separate. Uh, you know what really kills me is the death of nuance. Not everything is black and white, folks. There can be gray areas. Gray area. I did black and white photography for many years. Gray areas is where you live. You know, you did everything pure black, pure white. Then there's no. Hello, Lady Locks. I said earlier, thank you so much for the. Thank you so much. But now I can actually say it to you. Thank you so much for the Chuck Vice. It came in yesterday. That is amaze balls. All right. Now, assuming I didn't watch this. This is a friggin' metric, frickin' piece of peak peaks of shit. This lock is metric, isn't it? You're going to be metric. Are you? Are you? I do not need a metric lock. All right, we're good. I'm in America with my American lock. This is especially for Dean and his fan of American locks. Um these Brinks house key padlocks, and like I said, they're also American or not American Ace. They're but like but I believe that they're made by Federal Lock in Taiwan. Not 100% sure, but anyways, they are some very cool um padlocks, and if you're a fan of American locks, you're gonna love the pinning on these suckers because it's actually pretty hilarious. Give me a hot second. That's not a very good. That's not a Schlage probe. Come on. I need a sticky pokey thing. Sticky pokey thing. That's too fat. That's what she said. Like, okay, no, no, come on, David. This is why I like the good professional lock sporters. They have those followers with the special unscrewy deal. that makes gutting Schleg style kicks so much easier, but I don't have that, so I can't. And I won't. Also, another thing I'd like to point out is that look at the front of the Bible, there's actually a little hardened steel thing for drill protection. These are really way better padlocks than, than they should be. Come on, Brinks! You used to make really good stuff. Used to being the operative word, because these are, of course, discontinued, especially the Brinks version. You might still be able to find the Ace Hardware version. It's the same thing, but as a Brinks, it's gone. All right. So the pinning of the actual key pins is nothing special. They're just standard. This is what this is a Schlage 45132. Is that what it says? 45132? Yeah, 45132. So, there's nothing special. It's just going to be a bunch of key pins that are doing key pinny things. But the driver pins on this guy, y'all are going to love this. These are these are some great things, especially for Dean. Wait until you see Mr. I Love American Locks. Wait until you see this shit or stuff. Have you ever seen a full size kit compatible serrated spool? You've seen them in Master Locks. You've seen them in American Locks. But how often do you see a full size kit compatible serrated spool? Isn't that some cool shite? I don't know how many. Yeah, so I'm not gonna gut it because y'all seen that shit. But um, but yeah, it's pretty cool to see a full size serrated spool or spoolerated or whatever the heck you want to call it. Sprated. It rained last night in Los Angeles, and that made me sad. But it also made me happy because we need rain. What's the thing about how when it rains it's God crying? Something to that effect, or when it when it when there's thunder that's God farting, shit like that. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I had my situation, Lady Locks, with at the colony where things are in a kind of a dicey situation right now. I'm not super hot about that. Um, you know, but hey, crying on camera is great for viewer metrics. I'll say that much. Right. All right, where's that? Lady Lux, I need to send you a care package of creativity. That's going to be the secret to how you get by this week. Is it care pack? There's no quiet. Yeah, but I wasn't crying in Locksport. I was crying in kitty cat feeding. Yeah, there's and also yeah. I don't know. You're just capping so hardcore right now. You can't tell me that when you launch a spring from like your goal S or goal Z or whatever into the nether regions of space, and you're like, where did it go? Who's got springs for a goal Z? You can't tell me that you aren't crying either internally or in reality when that happens. That is a horrible thing to happen. Sin- Sincerely, a man who has lost the spring to his goal S. But yeah, you know what I need to send you, Lady Locks? I need to send you the Stinks Brinks didn't always stinks Brinks package with this hit compatible one. I'll even throw the evil bidding from the Ace one in there, which makes it super annoying. And this super cool marine one, which I showed you recently with the friggin' tapered pins. I hate this lock. or this American 5260 thing on an extra spring after dumping a 98 Pro. This is the Brinks didn't always stinks pack, package. Where are my other good Brinks locks? I'm on it. There aren't that much more. I have a Brinks version of a 5200, but that's just a Brinks 5200. Okay. Speaking of evil, now that you're here, Lady Locks, bidding doesn't matter except when it does. 45992. 992. What what even is this? Oh, I'm making my next challenge lock that's built into a Schlage. The bidding is going to be 45992 at the very end because Jesus Louises. I don't know I don't know who put that bidding in there, but they were not very nice. And I don't know which knucklehead selected the lock with 45992 as a lock to pick. Oh wait, here he is. All right, we'll say this. We'll give another shot at Mr. 45992. And after 45992 versus me again, I swear to you, I picked this once. I think it was an accident. I took it to my Locksport meetup. I was like, "Here, guys, take a shot at this. No one can pick it until one person picked it with a leashy." I'm like, "Well, that's cheating," and I don't have a Schleg leashy, so I can't do that. 45992, have an ass. Honestly, I'm trying to think of like what would be some seriously evil schlag bidding within max. By the way, within max, no max violations. Where you need to have eligible schlag bidding. That would be like evil AF. I'm thinking 94577. It does sound like a zip code, especially with Schlag be considering that their key space is numbered 0 through 9. So it really is like a true zip code situation. I have a challenge lock pinned up to 8675309, but that's a max violation, unfortunately. Oh, lock picking dad jokes. I'll see myself out right now. Look at Emily. Yeah, Emily is now on Prozac. Look at this anxious kitty cat. All right. All right. If we all right, with why don't we add another 2? No. Yeah. No. Okay. How about yeah, how about 92992? That seems like a real pain in the ass. Or how about like 92981. Ugh, yuck. Any other nominations for like absolutely evil schlag bidding within max? Come on, chat, throw down your selection for evil schlag bidding. Bidding doesn't matter, but if you can make it evil enough, maybe it does. It's kind of a speaking of the zip codification of schlag bidding codes, is it's kind of a shame that it seems like very few zip codes in Los Angeles would be eligible eligible bidding values because there's so many so many of the zip codes here in Los Angeles begin with either 91 or 90, and both of those would be a max violation in Schlag. And honestly, I think 90 would be a max. Is there any does anybody know of any lock manufacturer where the max is 10? That's a lot. So, folks, how about you? Where are you from? In your zip code, if you have a zip code, and you don't, and obviously don't put your personal zip code if you don't want to in the chat. But is your zip code an eligible bidding for a 5-pin Schlage lock? Yes or no? And I'm sorry if you're from not America and you have letters in your postcode or whatever. That's not my problem. 60445. That's an eligible bidding. That's within max. Hello, Zoe the cat. 37660, another eligible key. 33884, another eligible key. Everybody's in the bidding eligible zip codes except me because I'm 90028, like Harry mentioned, which is a max violation. And in fact, most of Los Angeles is a max violation because I've also lived in 90020, another max violation. 90048, 666666. That's just a quick set bump key, Zoe the cat. Which reminds me of one of my favorite Holocaust jokes. Hey, what are Hitler and Schlegel have in common? Nine, 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 nine. All right. I hate this lock so very much. Lady Locks, I'm sending this piece of shit to you so you can struggle with it on camera in front of hundreds of people instead of dozens of people. And you can be like, oh, bidding doesn't matter except when it does. And now it does. Yeah. That's my Lady Locks voice. It's it's very accurate. Hey, I'll always remember something said by Bosnia. For the record, I have picked this lock before. It happened once. It was just the moon and the sun and the stars aligned, and my chakras were aligned, and my karma was good. My chi was in balance, and I picked this lock. And other than that, I give this lock to everybody, and they're like, "Fuck this lock for real, bro." But I'll always think back to a video I saw when I was first getting into Locksport, which was LPL rating Bosnian Bill's Lock Lab and Naughty Bucket. And Bill just said to LPL, well, a lock delegated is a lock pick. And you know what? Damn straight. It's not in my apartment anymore. It doesn't exist. Doesn't matter. It's not intimidating me. It's not looking at me like, haha, David, fuck you. You can't pick me. You can't pick me now or ever. Speaking of locks that intimidate me, remember we were talking about New Year's resolutions for Locksport, and I said I'm gonna pick the Primus. Today's not gonna be that day, but yeah, I hope Bill's well. I don't. You know what's one thing I've noticed for whatever reason is I don't. He's certainly not very active on his channel or it doesn't seem that way. Because one thing I've noticed on Bill's channel is that it no longer says Bosnian Bill; it just says his actual name, Bill Johnson. No, I mean, yeah, no, I know. I mean, I know the whole story of like how and why he retired. Hi, Silvana. Also, welcome back. But you know, it's still, you know, I'm a little curious as to why he let the channel revert back to his actual name. My mom used to eat lox, but then her mercury was too high, so she had to give it up. Now she just eats the bagel and the cream cheese. Sorry, Zoe the cat, I had to. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I mean, look, I'm gonna respect the man's privacy. I wasn't in Locksport simultaneously to him. There was, I don't think, any overlap with us, and you know, I'm going off the video posted by LPL and what other people have said. You know, and if that is indeed the case, and I see no reason to doubt it, you know, I've had you know, you know, he has my admiration, and I think it would, it's the respectful thing to do to leave the man in peace. But I do think it's odd, that because he did build, a not insignificant following as Bossy and Bill, and it's kind of curious that he would revert to his legal name. I don't know exactly what the situation with that is, but you know, I do know. I mean, it's not like it's not like it. And for the record, I don't feel like I'm putting him on Front Street by discussing his legal name because I read an article on that was posted online about him in like a print article. Might have even been in like a big American magazine like the Atlantic or the New Yorker or something like that. But you know, it did mention, he was interviewed for some reason and he did, and it did refer to him by his legal name. So I don't feel like I'm doxing him or anything like in that regard. But Bill Johnson, I mean, just to be clear, it's not was his legal name. It still is his legal name, assuming he's all well. But yeah, it's kind of, I find it kind of interesting that his channel on YouTube is no longer displaying, at least for me, is no longer displaying his Bosnian bill. It's displaying his, like I said, as Bill Johnson. Yeah, I mean, there's a Silvana. I don't have a link to my PayPal on Instagram, but there is a link to the PayPal on my YouTube homepage if you're looking for that. Yeah, I mean, Bill Johnson is not exactly. It's right up there with Joe Smith as far as like, oh yeah, your name is super common, but yeah, I mean, I think I think the same way if if I woke up and saw the Lady Locks channel suddenly say Lady Locks actual legal name, which I'm not gonna, for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, I'm not gonna dox her because does not have her full legal name out on Front Street like that. Um, but if I suddenly started seeing that I'm subscribed to a channel with that name, I'd be like, well, what? But yeah, Bill Johnson's definitely, or even maybe young William Johnson, definitely got to be one of the more common names in Anglophone. countries. I mean, Jesus Louises, right? Watch Bill's in the chat. Bill, Bosnian Bill, are you in the chat? No, he's not in the chat. Suddenly, the voice of Bosnian Bill emanates from my fireplace. Don't talk shit about me. Why am I starting to sound like Mr. Ed all of a sudden? No, Wilbur, don't take away my comic books, Wilbur. Hello, I'm Mr. Ed. Legality is for suckers. Here, we do crazy, crazy shit. Yeah, and I'm gonna definitely Conkley, and I'm gonna add another thing. And if you're not gonna keep it legal, how about this one? Just don't discuss your crimes on the internet. Like, if you're gonna break laws, I'm not gonna to stop. I'm not here to stop you. I'm not the cops. But for God's sake, don't talk about it on the internet. Don't post yourself. Like, I don't know why I keep seeing these fucking idiots like with Instagram accounts just documenting themselves jacking cars. Like, congratulations, Kia boys. You're you're really giving the prosecutors everything they need. You know, loose lips sink ships. Snitches get stitches and end up in ditches with no fucking riches because, yep. I mean, yeah, I'm like, look, if you're even going to discuss crimes, you better be damn sure the statute is passed in whatever you're discussing. Wrong. I mean, people are so dumb. Like, I don't know. I saw that video of what of that cop in Southern California. who was like they found out he was a PDF file downloader because he literally like walked himself into it where like he talking with people posing as underage girls, and you're a cop, dude. You know, not for nothing, but your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent is so that you do not incriminate yourself. The full text of the Miranda rights, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. If you just shut the fuck up, your chances are so much better, especially if you're my complexion, but that's besides the point. Um, or maybe that is the point. Oh, Zoe the cat. I have such a funny anecdote. Yeah, yeah. People need to learn how. Yeah, you have the right to remain silent, but you do not have the ability. Shut the fuck up. You know, it is shut the fuck. It's shut the fuck up Friday. So yeah, Zoe the cat. Funny thing, I was going over like some Southern California related Reddit page, and they were talking about the 118 freeway here in Los Angeles. The 118 freeway, aka the Ronald Reagan freeway, leads from kind of San Fernando Valley area of LA to Simi Valley, which is, you know, a a conservative stronghold within Southern California. It's just outside of LA County. Technically, it's in Ventura County. And it's, it's home of the Reagan Library, hence why they call the 118 the Reagan Freeway. Um, and, but, it's infamous. Oh, yeah, yeah. It is the Simi Valley is infamous as being a place where cops live. Um, that they go there, and then when they get in trouble, they move to Coeur d'Alene in Idaho. But aside from that, um, there's so there's so the 118 freeway leads from the valley area, kind of the San Fernando Valley area, to Simi, where all the cops live. And somebody literally posted on Reddit, does anybody think the reason that there's never ever highway patrol on the 118 is because they'd be doing nothing but pulling over cops doing 100 in a 65 for speeding? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, not wrong about that. I mean, shit, I've been on the 118 several times. Um, people are doing. There are some freeways in LA where people are just going ridiculous speed, but I do get the feeling that the 118 is one of those places where, like, if they had more enforcement, all they'd be doing is pulling over their own people because so many cops live in Simi. Although that being said, I have been cited for speeding on the 118 because I'm not a cop. On the other hand, uh, the day I got cited for speeding on the 118 was January 1st, 2020. We all know how 2020 the year went, so that should have been an omen for me. Yeah, and on the subject of that, if your car is hot, dude, shut the fuck up. If you get pulled over for something minor, just go, okay. And then you know what the great thing about a speeding ticket? You can contest the ticket later. You don't have to get your car searched. You can. Oh my god, people are so dumb. For real. Woo. Harry, we don't talk about Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene's a horrible place. Coeur d'Alene yeah. It is a Let me just say that the Idaho Panhandle, I've been there many times. It's a beautiful location, but good God, man, good God, the people there, um, are not for me, and I am not for them. That's about as diplomatic as I can say it. It's y- But let me, without being too undiplomatic, let me just say the fact that Ruby Ridge happened not too far from Coeur d'Alene is not surprising, at all. It's just such a such a. That was also when the ATF was really torture. Where did I put the stupid? Yes, Silvana, I just saw it. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Where in the blue expletive delete is my bottom of the keyway tension wrench? Mm, maybe this will work. Oh, shoot me this away. I, but yeah, funnily enough, I've been to the Idaho Panhandle many a times. My parents actually, when I was younger, bought a timeshare in that neck of the woods. So I've been there a lot, and its beauty is frankly pretty unparalleled. But it can be it's the home of many a militiaman. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because that whole area of Idaho in the Panhandle with with Lake Pend Oreille and Coeur d'Alene and all that, it's so gorgeous. But some of the people there are just absolute wackaloons. You know, and a part of me is like, well, you know, it's It's gorgeous, true, but you know where else it's gorgeous? Just north of there in Canada. Idaho? No, Idaho. All right. Doinks. I know they recently moved it out of green belt and into orange belt, and frankly, that's pretty much where it deserves. But I really like the fact that with these commando lock eye change guys, you can pick them both clockwise and counterclockwise. There's not that many padlocks where you can pick them both ways. I like that. Anybody remember the song? Speaking of which, does anybody remember? It's an R&B song from I think like '03 or '04, called "I Like That" by an artist named Houston. One hit wonder. Whoa, 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 whoa! I like that. Forget that. Forget that. Here's the money at. I like that. Houston. And Dean, to answer your question, it's in northern Nevada, Idaho. Idaho? No, I don't. I seriously doubt it. Yeah, I don't listen to Smiths nearly as much as I used to. I mean, part of it is just because Morrissey's just such a such a like the music is so good, but Morrissey, the human being, is so. Oh my God, Morrissey is just so annoying as a human being. Like he's just such an asshole. I got nothing better than that. He's just such an asshole. I mean, if we're talking British kind of new wave stuff, I'm more of a Cure guy than a Smiths guy these days. But also, just keeping it a stack, New Order wipes the floor with both of them. And that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Cure's. In Between Days, that's amazing. Hello, Delbert. But but come on, New Order. Oh my God, friggin' power, corruption, and lies, people. The Smiths never made us. Oh yeah, love the Smiths, love the Cure. They never made a song like "Age of Consent" or "Blue Monday" or not really my thing, Sylvana. The combo locks are kind of boring, in my opinion. There's the pardon the yawn. There's the Master Lock 875, but I'm not super. That's pretty easy to work on, but I don't have one of those handy. with me, and I don't feel like digging one up. I mean, to be honest with you, I do have one somewhat handy, but it's underneath Fred over there, and I don't want to bother you, baby boy. He's having a little nappy nappy poo. The baby boy is napping. Yeah, on the subject of wafer locks, I actually at my most recent Locksport meetup, one of the challenge locks for the annual challenge is what's that brown belt wafer lock that Magnum makes? The Magnum, I think it's the Mont Blanc. Um, so yeah, picked that recently. Another brown belt lock in the in the ye olde belt, although or in the to add to my bandolier of high level locks picked. Although I didn't take any photo of it because I'm a genius. Oh, the Mont Blanc, it's pretty cool. It was a fun pick. Yeah, if you can find one, recommend it. I what's interesting though is that one of the guys who was there at the meetup, who's a regular there, um, you guys might have seen some of his videos, Artichoke 2000 or Artie. Artie actually brought the Magnum Atlantic and the Magnum Pacific. Now I've seen the Magnum Atlantic before. It's a it's a dimple lock, but it's a 3-row dimple lock. So there's a center row of pins that's pin tumbler, and I believe the 2 outer rows are actuating sidebars. But the Magnum Pacific is actually cut on on a not a dimple key, a normal key, but it look it up if you're fascinated. The Magnum Pacific, really cool looking lock, and I've never seen it before. I've heard of the Magnum Atlantic, but the Pacific was, yeah, really cool. Although on a somewhat separate note, I think it would be one thing I would love to see with all the modern technology we have nowadays. You know, on the subject of New Order, is they're not quite as good, but I do love Joy Division as well. And I would love, there are those two demo versions of Joy Division with Ian Curtis playing Ceremony right before Ian Curtis took his own life. And I would love if there was a way to like restore the audio on that to like bring Ian Curtis's voice back. So like, could I mean, as is, he kind of Curtis breaks through the like the distortion every now and then, which has some great, just absolutely cathartic moments. For those of you who are, fans of Joy Division and New Order, look up the Joy Division version of Ceremony, and it's most of the audio of Ian Curtis's voice is just super garbled and muffled, but at just one point he just breaks through, and all of a sudden you just hear, "I'm leaving now, no mercy shown," and it's just oh, oh, it's cathartic, but it is haunting knowing that the guy was really close to taking his own life. And between the muffled nature of it all, it almost yeah, it almost sounded like the man was crying. Boys don't cry, but Ian Curtis definitely sounded like he was crying towards the end of his life. Guys, why can't I find things that I'm looking for? Oh my god, you guys, I can't have anything nice. I lost my stuff. Yeah, no, that's actually one of my That's one of my favorite Cure songs. That's so good. That one's so good. Boys Don't Cry. In Between Days is also really good. Here's some slander though. Friday I'm in Love, one of the most overrated Cure songs of all time, and it's overplayed too. I don't care. Friday I'm in Love, but I am not in love with the song Friday I'm in Love. Doesn't hold a candle to Boys Don't Cry or In Between Days or even stuff like Close to Me. Another good option. Great fire. I don't know why, but I'm also segueing to like slightly like second tier or not second tier, but like second tier of not second tier of quality, but second tier of fame level bands like Wire right now. I'm thinking we're only making plans for Nigel. Yeah, if it's Sylvana for the combination locks, if it's one of these round body type locks, honestly, I wouldn't even worry about it. These things are so cheap and so dime a dozen. If you forget the combination, just fishing sinker. For some of the other ones, they can be decoded, but I'm personally yeah, but I'm personally of the opinion unless you're doing it for a hobby like I do and many people do, um, sometimes the juice just isn't worth the squeeze in a manner of saying. Hit with hammer, yeah, that's definitely an option, especially if you don't value the lock too much. Excuse me. You are using a master lock, combination lock. It can be opened with a master lock, combination lock. Yeah, and if hammer isn't the thing for you, where's my notch decoder? Bueller. No. That'll do. Just fine. Not really an opening method as such, but take thin strip of metal, insert. If I had a hammer. Yeah, oxyacetylene will open many doors. You know what else will open many, 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 many doors? Angle grinder, go burr. Angle grinder is the key to the city. Oh, well, yeah. What are you waiting for? Go feed them. Go feed them. What are you doing here? We're kicking you out of the streams, Levon and on. Fuck. Bolt cutter is a pretty decent key. There are so many keys to the city these days. Bolt cutter, angle grinder, Allegan bar, pipe wrench. Yeah. You will speak when spoken to. Yeah, that was yeah, and yeah, we've been talking about that, Silvana. It was unfortunate. Um, but I'm gonna, and I think, I think what you told me is correct. He's closing, the man is closing his business down right now. He's trying to sell everything off. So, he has a at the moment he has a vested interest in keeping his place very clean. So his patience for the cats right now is very low. But, you know, it still kind of sucks. Um, Hopefully people are help are able to help me and we can save as many of them as possible. You know, and here's the thing, just to clarify, if anybody's allowed to be upset about cleaning up 200 pounds of cat shit, it's Charlie because it's his property. Like you guys know, I've had issues with some of the other, um, you know, so at the moment, um, at the moment, I think we're just trying to save as just to help the cats as much as possible. Um, so if share, definitely share the video if you know. Ah, shit. Well, there goes my notch decoder. Um, if you know people in in the Western United States who would be willing to adopt cats, have them get in touch with me via Instagram if possible, just to just to see about adoption, about how about just ways to help. Because my apartment's kind of full right now, but if I could get my foster cats adopted, then I can probably take to short term. But it's all a question. But right now, yeah, we just reach out to friends in the southwestern United States if that you have and be like, hey, can you foster? Can you help? What have you? See, Sunny still needs her forever home, along with her brother. You'll never see her brother because he's very skittish. But Sunny's an absolute dear. Yes, she is. Yeah, shy girl. Yeah, son girl. She's a little shy at first, but once you get to know her, she is total lap cat material. Yep, yep. all the cats that I would not offer a cat up for adoption if they weren't fixed. I I've got too many issues as is with the kittens, you know, that other people drop. Excuse me. That other people. Jesus Louises, I might have to fix myself a cup of coffee or something like that. What the heck, dudes? Um, but what was I saying? I don't know. Can't be that important if I can't remember. Or I have the memory of a small fish. You know, you guys know, professionally, I'm a chef. I worked, I think, I worked 4 years consecutive in a fish restaurant, and I'll always say, when in doubt, I've kind of turned in. Yeah, I had to turn like I like with every year that I worked in a fish joint, I turned more and more into a fish, or at least my memory did, and it was just like, I'm in a bowl. I'm in a bowl. I'm in a bowl. I'm in a bowl. Just every 5 minutes, just running into a bowl, being like, I have no memory of shit. And then it'd be like, and then but then I gotta remember, like, no, no, no. My long-term memory is still really good. That's how I remember stuff about locks and cameras and cars and cats and whatever. Like how I remember song lyrics and shit like that really well. But my short-term memory has gone to shit. That's for sure. Maybe it's too much marijuana smoking. Sorry, 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 parents. I didn't want to let you down. Do I have booty, 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 booty rocking everywhere? Come on, dude. I got a pair of channel locks in here. There you go. Before, before let's not engage in acts of violence. And this is your brain on hugs. Ask your doctor if hugs are right for you. Side effects of hugging include side effects of hugging include slurred speech. Did I hear violence? No, you heard me twerking to Bubba Sparks. Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. Rocking everywhere. Rocking everywhere. I found you, Miss New Booty. Wonder whatever happened to Bubba Sparks. Does he still make music? Well, Zoe the cat. That's what happens when people with narrow flat white boy ass try twerking. It looks like a seizure. I'm sorry, I'm not more voluptuous. Okay, it's not my fault that my body type can best be described as camp survivor chic. So, sue me. Oh no, it was definitely dorking, but you can you can call me sexy fed. Hey, hello, yeah, baby boy. This is Fred. Fred is a good boy, and this is Benny, and Benny is also a good boy. R.I.P. to Leela. We keep the cats that the pets that are no longer in our lives. They stay with us forever. But yeah, Ben was actually the first cat I ever rescued. I found him while I was doing deliveries one day, and I was just like, "Hey, look, that's a cute black cat." And I went meow at my car, and he went meow back to me, and I was like, "I have to feed this cat," and I did. And then after that, I took him off the streets, and we took him to the vet, and he got his nuts cut off, snip, snip, snip. But he was already adopted, so no ear tip. And then snip, snip, snip. And he's been living with me now for, ooh, let's see, he came off the streets in December of 2021, I think. So best part of 4 years. Benny's been with me, and he's just a good Benny. Benny. You see, he's got I lived on the street teeth. Mm. Benny. That's a Benny. What do you see, Benny? What do you see, baby boy? Yeah, the kitty in the chair, that's Sunny. She's actually available for adoption. She's 1 year old. She's available for adoption along with, one second. Here's another one of my rescues. Here's Louisa. Louisa! Yeah. Sunny's brother, Sully, who's a little bit shyer, but he has these beautiful copper eyes. But he does that sometimes if you stick stuff in his face too much. So I'm covering this part, but I really need to clean my house. I'm live streaming instead of doing chores, so my house is a pigsty. Baby boy. What do we rate this loaf, folks? Okay. Out of 10, what do we rate the loaf? David, that's whatever you got, that's appreciated. And if you know people who live in the Western United States, definitely share the video with them, especially extra hard. 8 out of 10, Harry. Yeah, it's a little disheveled, and the tail is a little visible. But you know what the problem is? No. This the foot is out. Demerits for the foot. I'm giving this a 7. The foot is too far out for a perfect 10 out of 10 loaf. But it's not bad. What's the rating on the low? Loaf rating, folks. It's getting worse, actually. It might be going down to a 6 now. Benny Benny. That's a good Benny Benny. Yes, he's a Benny Benny. Yes, he's a Benny Benny. Yeah, Ben 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 Ben. Ben, 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 ben. Ben, 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 ben. Why is the Lexus CT 200 such a dumb car? Sorry, ADHD. Lexus was like, yeah, let's take a Prius, add more chrome, make it uglier somehow, and sell it for 1.5 times the price. Could not be me, peeps. Could not be me. Ugh, speaking of could not be me, the BMW X6. Good God. I'm sorry. Some things don't need to exist, and SUV in the shape of a coupe is one thing that does not need to exist. That should have been an abortion. BMW should have been like, we have an own idea. We are going to take the 6 Series coupe and the X5 SUV, and we are going to have them shoot, and they are going to make the baby. We will call it the X6. Nine, this is more ugly than the sin. We will now abort this baby. Bye bye, baby. But instead, they came over all fundamentalist Christian in in Munich, and they were like, "We cannot abort this baby. We will keep it, and we will love it as one of our own, the X6, and we will sell it to people in Beverly Hills with a lot of money, with nine taste. Yeah, and it will go very. And then we will make the XXM, and we will add way too much power, and people who cannot drive will buy it, and they will have 600 plus horsepower, but they will have the guts of someone who needs 20 horsepower." Benny, Benny, what's your favorite car? Benny, what's your favorite car, Benny, Benny? What's your favorite car? Is it the Mercury Cougar because you're kind of a house cougar? Do you like the Ford Crown Vic and the Mercury Grand Marquis because they're on the Panther platform? I've got cat jokes for days, by the way. Um, Ben 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 the Benny Ben 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 Ben. Am I really doing the number of the beast to Ben? I'm telling you, people, get a cat named Ben because you can make pretty much any song to him. You want proof? Watch this. Ben 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 Benny 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 Ben Benny 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 Ben. Ben, 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 Ben. That's my how we do to Ben. What else we got? Ben, Ben, Benny, Ben, 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 Benny, Benny, Ben, 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 Benny, Benny, Ben, 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 Ben. Benny, Benny Benster. Benny, 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 Benny Benster. Run, ben, 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 ben. Trying to do Age of Consent there, but let's see. Benster of Puppets, Ben. Ben, Ben, Ben. Ben, ba, Ben, ba, Ben, ba, ba, Ben, 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 ba, ba, Ben, ba, ba, Ben, ba, ba, Ben, 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 ba, ba, Ben, ba, ba, Ben, ba, ba, Ben, 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 ba, ba, Ben, ba, ba, Ben, ba, ba, Ben, Ben, ba, Ben, ba, Ben, ba, Ben, ba, Ben, 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 ba, Ben, ba, Ben, Ben, ba, Ben, ba, Ben, ba, Ben, 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 ba, Ben, ba, Ben, ba, Ben, ba, Ben, 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 Benny, Ben, 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 Benny, 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 Benster. Benny Ben 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 Benny Benny Benster Ben 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 Benny 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 Benster Ben 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 Benny 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 Benster Ben Ben. All right, baby boy. I've annoyed him plenty enough. For the record, we don't even need to stick in English. Ready? Here's some Spanish Benny Benster. Benny, 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 the Benny, 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 the Benny, 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 Ben, 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 in a Benny, the Ben, 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 in a Benny, the Ben, Ben, in a Benny, Ben, Ben. It's not La Chona, it's La Bensta. La Benny, the Ben, Ben. I'm annoying my kitties. Oh my god, it's 420. Happy 420, everybody. Fabulous Red. He's so fabulous. If, if there was ever if there was ever one of my cats, not one of my rescue cats, but like if ever there was excuse me, if there was ever one of my cats who could be like a like feline influencer, it would be Fred. He would be the he would ooh, yeah. He would be he would be on he would be on Instagram with several 100,000 subscribers going, I'm Fred, and I enjoy Purina. Fancy feast. Okay, peeps. Here's a situation because I do, in fact, need to do some chores at some point, and we've been going for quite some time now. I'm going to pick open this beautiful Stanley, which I enjoy very much. And after that, we are going to call it a day. And I will see you all very shortly. And I will go and I will do the things that I'm supposed to do, such as I have a video to edit. Just so you know, the next cat video isn't going to be super great because, well, uh, things are changing and the cats are very nervous. But we're going to do our best just to make life as easy as possible for them. Yeah, the cats do love fancy feast. If I could feed my colony fancy feast every single day all the time, I absolutely would. Share my channel. If you know anybody who works for Purina, share my channel. Tell them I will I'm not very good at capitalism, but I will freaking pour myself out to Purina if they give me an unlimited supply of fancy feasts or friskies or cat chow or frankly whatever they want to give me, they can give it to me. That didn't take very long. I'm getting pretty good at these Stanleys. Yeah, It's almost sad that I'm getting this good at these Stanleys because they're really good. I saw one for sale recently, not far from where I live on Facebook Marketplace, and this person's been trying to sell this Stanley padlock for so long, and I'm not going to share the link with anybody because I want it, but I'm so tempted to go buy it because Stanley made some really good padlocks back in the day, and back in the day wasn't even that long ago. It's just they don't make them anymore. So like whenever I see one, I'm kind of like, I want. The vast majority of these Stanley locks, they have some interesting pinning. Not great, not terrible, but what's really interesting is that these guys all have countermilled cores. They're not asking that much. I think it's like 20, $30. It's well within it's just that I need to chill the heck out basically because as cool as it is and as much as it's like a bit of lock memorabilia that I would love to have, it's not necessary. I have multiple Stanley padlocks at this point, and you know, maybe that'll be my gift to myself when I finish training at the new job, and like I'm actually like a real howdy doody chef. Maybe, maybe I'll be like, okay, it's time to reward myself. I get to buy that Stanley padlock. But I mean, especially you folks who have been with me for a while and have seen around my apartment. You know how much padlockery is going on in this house. Um, I'm not sure. I'm assuming. I mean, I guess the first 2 weeks are definite training, but I don't know how far beyond that. But yeah, but like you all have seen my desk where it's just padlock city, and over here, which is even more padlockery, and over there, which is even more padlocks, and up there, which is even more padlocks, and my second floor, which is even more the last like literally next to where I'm sitting, which is just I cannot lie down if I wanted to because it's just covered in padlocks, including another Stanley. Oh, this one, honestly, this one's wonky because I've never seen a lock with this kind of shape, this kind of waxing gibbous moon shape. Anyways, to everybody who's hung, anyways, I think we're gonna wrap it up right now. Let's have the kitties say bye bye. Okay. Well, you know what, Frick? If picking love locks is legal wherever you're located, it's a great way to improve your collection in a manner of speaking. If you want to collect nothing but shit, oh boy, you can collect shit. You can collect shit quite easily if you visit. And I'm not sure where you're located in in Ohio. these are all dog shit, by the way. This is like mostly Master 140s, 141s, the Brinks 40 millimeter brass locks. These are all shit. This is literally like I some people use padlocks to secure chains, and some people use padlocks to make chains. I am the latter. Pittsburgh, PA, or or is there a Pittsburgh, Ohio? Come on, David. Um, but like, and I'm sure that there are bridges over the Ohio River, or like, places in either Cleveland or Cincinnati or Columbus or something like that. Yeah, I mean, maybe get in touch with Lady Locks. She's been trying to scope out the uh the Pittsburgh love lock situation. I actually um I think I might have. Oh, it's a no-go state? Poop. Is it legality thing, or is it just there's no love locks? But yeah, so that's where the shitty brass locks live. That's sunny. Okay. And there's the laminated stuff. Well, that sucks. Big fat one. Tell him, hey, tell him, hey, it is wrong to have something this big and this shitty on a bridge. 65 millimeters. Tell him it is wrong to have something this rusty on a bridge. Disgusting. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Is it just you're not allowed to pick Lovelock specifically, or is Ohio one of those states? Because I thought it was just Virginia and Vegas where Virginia and Nevada were the two states where uh you had to. I get it. Okay, prima facie. That's that's kind of dog shit. Anywho, think I'm gonna wrap it up pretty soon. I am human and I need to be loved just like anybody else does. But I also need to do work. So Sonny says bye bye. I say bye bye, and I need a haircut. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. See ya. Have a great week.